Essentially, guys, what is happening is the white supremacist part of the MAGA party, the truly like America first, white supremacist, replacement theory people, which is like Tucker and Fuentes and the Groypers and, Candio, those guys, right? Like to them, the Jewish Zionist people are like people of color. They're not white. They're not America first. I know I do it in quotes because the America First movement was a KKK thing. That's where the America First movement came from. So the replacement theory America Firsters, they can never be partnered with Jewish people or Zionists. They cannot. There is right now, guys, there is a faction of the right wing, the far right MAGA movement that consider themselves to be the most pure element of MAGA. And those guys will not partner with Israel or any supporters of Israel anymore from here on out. They're like done. Okay. It is like fractured already. It is fractured. And it was driven because Trump went fully into the, I want to redevelop Gaza. I want to be the hero in the Middle East. And so I think they feel like Trump sold them out. Nick Fuentes and these really far right guys, they feel like Trump sold them out. And Tucker Carlson was already mad at getting booted from Fox because of Trump and Trump's lies. And so now there's like a resentment. There's like a retribution that they want. And yes, bailing out Venezuela, sending money to Argentina, the H-1B visas. I mean, there's just a string of things. And so they are at war, dude. Oh, Trumpy. Dude. Oh, it's just beautiful. It's a beautiful thing to witness.
You have Nick Fuentes, and he thinks that there's an organized Jewry that is essentially leading to the situation that we're seeing right now on the ground in Gaza. Again, I agree more with Tucker Carlson. I'm just recounting that part of the discussion in case you missed our coverage of it, because we talked about that yesterday. But there were other parts of their conversation that I thought were worthy of delving into. I wanted to share with you, including this really interesting experience that Nick Fuentes allegedly had with the Daily Wire and Ben Shapiro. So this is all taking place when Nick Fuentes is still in high school. He's like around 18 years old. He's a curious person. He's a self-identified libertarian. He debates someone, and apparently that debate he performed really well in. And then he gets approached by someone who I'm actually familiar with. Her name is 𝗙cie𝗶𝗹𝗀, who works over at the Daily Wire. She was impressed, and then there was like this effort to essentially recruit Nick Fuentes. Now, there's more to the story, and I wanna let Fuentes set it up for you, so let's take a look.
Barack Obama in the lame duck period, so the Democrats lost the election, he's on his way out. There's a resolution of the Security Council condemning the settlements in the West Bank in Israel. And typically the US delegation will veto those resolutions condemning Israel. Well, Obama's on his way out, he's got nothing to lose. So the US delegation abstains from the resolution and it passes. And Fox News and all the pro-Israel conservatives are calling him an anti-Semite. They're saying he hates Jews, he's an anti-Semite, he hates Israel. I said, how is it anti-Semitic to just be consistent on our US foreign policy? I tweeted about it. I tweeted to Ben Shapiro. I said, I've never seen anything on the Daily Wire that's actually critical of Israel. And he quote tweets me. And at this time, I have 1,000 followers on Twitter. I don't know, I probably got 100 likes on this tweet. It wasn't a viral tweet. He quote tweets me and says, to accuse a Jew of dual loyalty is the surest sign of anti-Semitism.
How is that? First of all, dual loyalty exists. I said it exists. There are Americans in this country right now, self-identified American Jews who seem to be far more concerned with the well-being of a foreign country, and that foreign country is Israel, as opposed to the well-being of this country.
Dude, can I just say this? How long before 𝗙𝗙𝗋𝗋 is on the same side as Nick Fuentes, guys? You think 1 year? 2 years? Like, I mean, we've seen her go from defund the police to be nice to MAGA, to Law and Order, to Tucker Carlson, you're so brilliant. Yeah, are you running for president? I might vote for you for president. Like, dude, she is like this close, boss. She is like so close. You know what I mean? And like I said, dude, I watched the Her Take podcast. It was unwatchable, guys. It was Lindy Lee in charge with Savannah Hernandez and Isabella DeLuca or whatever her name is, and Anna and Lindy, and they were all talking about George Soros and throwing around like Jewish tropes with no Jillian there. It was gnarly. It was literally, I was like, dude, I can't even content this. This is like literally like watching Nick Fuentes' show. It was really like, wow. Like, she is so close. She is so close. And yes, you're right. She does listen to this guy. And now they have Nick Fuentes on their broadcast. But even right there, what did she do? She included a part of Nick Fuentes that she agrees with. She included a part of Nick Fuentes that she agrees with. Wow. Dude, that Overton window is like right in front of her, boss.
He didn't ask the wrong questions. The problem is he asked the right questions in the wrong environment. In an environment where the dual loyalty certainly does exist. And no one's gonna stop me from saying that, because it's the truth. It's the truth. Let's pivot to a more amusing part of the discussion, because Tucker Carlson and Nick Fuentes had a bit of a tiff earlier this year. They both accused each other of being feds. It was hilarious. And look, Tucker Carlson also said that, you know, Nick Fuentes is like a gay kid living in his parents' basement, whatever. And so that really upset Nick Fuentes. He did a whole broadcast about it. It blew up, and everyone was like waiting for this moment where they would, you know, hash it out. And they did. So Carlson repeatedly urged Fuentes to let go of his grudges against his perceived enemies. And that led to the two of them basically focusing on their recent feud. So let's watch the clip and then we'll explain the backstory a little more.
Look, Tucker, that's why I'm sitting here, you know?
Right.
I mean, because we had a contentious dialogue.
Well, I thought you were a Fed. I
thought you were a Fed.
I was a Fed.
Yeah.
I'm not a Fed. But whatever, I don't care what people think.
We showed each other a badge as we know we're
No, but I thought you were a Fed because I was like, why not? It's not cucking to say you're not talking about all Jews when you oppose a foreign policy position. It's not. There's nothing liberal about that. It's just true. That's the Christian position, okay? And two, why are you attacking like the best people and not the worst people?
Well, yeah, I mean, again, he disavowed me for my views on Israel and said I talk too much about white people and Christianity. And to me, that's like a sincere ideological disagreement.
I get it.
Okay, so the guy that they're talking about is Joe Kent. That's who they were feuding about. So he's a Republican who ran for the House in Washington. In Washington's 2022 and 2024 elections. He did lose both times. And according to Fuentes, many years ago, Fuentes privately gave Kent the support of both himself and his organization's political resources on the condition that Kent would never publicly disavow Fuentes, which I think is a ridiculous ask. You never know what the future holds.
Dude.
What if Fuentes does something terrible? I think Kent should be allowed to disavow him, right? But later, Kent did just that after Marjorie Greene attended Fuentes' conference back in 2022. Okay, look, I don't care about any of this stuff. Like, here's what I do care about. The reason why Tucker thought that Nick Fuentes was a Fed is because when you have critics of Israel specifically blaming the Jews and spewing anti-Semitic rhetoric, those of us who don't think it's the Jews and instead specifically blame a government, and those who adhere to a certain ideology, we get lumped in with the likes of Nick Fuentes or whoever says disgusting anti-Semitic things about Jews. And
yeah, but also to be fair, Anna, when you dedicate a news program to Nick Fuentes and Tucker Carlson, and then you're like, oh, like he's not wrong when you're talking about Nick Fuentes, you're attaching yourself to Nick Fuentes. When you go on Tucker's show and say, wow, you gave one of the greatest speeches I've ever heard, I think you're running for president and I'd probably vote for you. That is what puts you in the same category with these people. Like, you can't pal around with Nazis and say, wow, I agree with some of what the Nazi says, and then expect to be called anything but a Nazi, dude. Dude, yeah, she would fully endorse Tucker. I think if Tucker runs, dude, if Tucker runs, she's going to cross over. I am telling you, dude, I think she is going to be pro Nick Fuentes before too long, boss. Anna is like this close. What is up, guys? Thank you so much for watching. You like the video, you want to support independent resistance media, you know what to do. Drop that sub, hit the like button, and please share it. And we do love our members, so if you want to become a member, it's another really great way to support. Thanks again for everything, guys. I'll see you next time. Let's go.